How's it going, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. And right now I'm sat in the 2021, the latest one. This is the Cupra Formentor 2-litre TSI. And this is the 310 PS version as well. So this is the VZ3. It comes in all kind of flavors. So you can get the V1, you can get the V2, you can get the VZ1, VZ2, VZ3, and there's also a VZ edition as well. With the VZ edition, just means you get the panoramic roof that we have here, which is pretty cool, especially when you have a sunny day like this. It's nice to have sunroof as well to also give you a sense of a bigger space inside of the car as well. The car itself looks beautiful on the outside. I really like it. I love what Cupra is doing, and I think they've come a very long way since the first inception, like the Ateca and stuff like that. So I think this one looked fantastic. It's a nice crossover as well. It's sitting on 19 inches, not 9-inch. Come on, imagine 9-inch wheels. They are sitting on 19-inch alloys, which looks fantastic on the outside. It's got that copper finishing as well. I love all that copper detailing all around the car. It's on the outside and inside of the car as well. I love the logo. It's still one of those things where the branding itself, people still ask what car it is whenever you drive it anywhere. I remember driving one of the Cupras to Bournemouth, and a lot of people stopped to ask me what the car actually was. So I think they're still going through that stage where a lot of people still don't know what it is, but eventually the more we see them on the road, the more people start to sort of recognize them. I think they were telling me earlier as well that this is actually making up 10% of Seat's sale when it comes to this car. So it's a big improvement for what they used to have, which is really good. Continuing on with the design, there's lots of sharp detailing all around the car. If you look on the side profile, it's got that sloped back as well. It kind of goes up and in, gives it that sort of wide arch look to it. I like the lines, the creases on the bonnet as well, which looks pretty cool. I'm sure that's part of some sort of aerodynamic thing that they've done to the car to give it that better aerodynamics, which is pretty cool. I love the headlights as well. You got the running daylights. They look distinctive, especially when you see them in your head mirror. They look distinctive, and you can see this little triangle detailing again on the side of the headlights, which is pretty cool. Again, I keep saying cool because the whole car itself is just a cool looking car. I like it. I love this red color as well. It'd probably be the one I'd go for if I was to pick up one of these for sure. And if you look on the back as well, if you see the tail lights again, it's very angular, it's very shapy, and all kind of trigonometry going on there. And I love the long bar going on the back. It looks pretty snazzy, especially when you look it straight on as well. And then that Cupra logo just sits there as well. Opening up the boots, you get 420 litres of boot space. And if you look on the back for the back passengers, you get plenty of leg room, plenty of headroom as well, even with my seat a bit further back like I normally drive. So plenty of room there for people sitting on the back, and they've got 2 USB-C ports on the back as well, so if they want to charge their devices, they can do that. They've got climate control for themselves on the back as well, and you can also just control it on the front if you're the driver, of course. And moving on to the front, where I'm sat right now, there's Napa leather, heated seats, the steering wheel's heated as well. You got leather everywhere. I like, again, the copper detailing. I love the copper stitching all around the seats, and it's sports seats, so it keeps you in the seats as you're driving around. And this thing, boy, does it grip corners very well as well. So again, this adds to that driving experience when you're driving this out and about. I love the steering wheel. It's got this flat bottom steering wheel, so you can easily get in and out of the car. Of course, you can adjust the steering wheel, so you can move it up and down. You can drag it towards you if you know, to get the best sitting position when you're driving out and about. So you got wireless charging here as well, Qi wireless charging. So if you've got a compatible device, you can do so. You got 2 USB-C ports. It came with an adapter. I don't know if it'll come with an adapter when you buy this. An actual Cupra USB cable as well, which is pretty cool. The fabric sort of wrapped around it, so it's kind of robust, it's nice and strong. You got this armrest, which is not really an armrest for me because it's not that high up, so when you're driving you sort of like end up leaning down further down. But underneath that you got your 12 volts port, and you've also got a big space there to keep things. If you want to hide things away, you can do so. You got 2 cup holders, one smaller than the other one, and then you got some, you know, the gear shifter here. You got a couple of buttons here and there, and some space to, you know, put your keys when you're driving it. Pretty much minimalist and simple, to be honest. And I love the floor mats as well. The floor mat's actually cool because it's got half leather on it, and it's got that Cupra logo branding on it as well, which is pretty cool. Even the door inserts have that leather finishing. Again, just gives you that sense of premium when you get inside of the car. The sunroof is pretty cool as well. One thing that annoys me though is this touchscreen sunroof system thing. You have to kind of like swipe it. It's not actual button, so you have to swipe it to move it in, up and down. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't really react, especially if you've got a greasy finger as well. It doesn't quickly react to what you're doing, which is interesting. You got that same thing going on with the temperature control here and the volume control at the bottom here. I would have been better having a touch, a dial, rotary dial thing there, to be honest with you. If we look at the driver steering wheel, you got loads of buttons here as well. You got the driver profile button, which is that Cupra button here. So you can press it and it will bring on that Cupra mode, sports mode, which activates, stiffer steering wheel, more responsive accelerator. The suspensions get stiffened a little bit, and it gives you that extra sound as well. And it pops every time it drops the gears. It pops as well. You got gear shifter if you want to get, adventurous with driving on here, if you know what you're doing. And the instrument cluster itself is nice and large as well, so you can also change different views. There's a view button here that you can press, and you can control it and change what's actually in there as well. So you can view your media, you can view your maps, you can view the road signs, you can see your assist driving information, like lane keep and sort of, and lane departure warning. You can see those information there. There's no heads-up display, unfortunately. I wish they did add heads-up display. That's something I've become accustomed to in cars. And this middle column as well is pretty solid as well. I've been kind of trying to shift it. It's pretty solid. And driving position is nice as well. You can electronically adjust the seats as well, so you can adjust that if you wish to do so. And that's pretty much with the sitting position and the driver as well. If we move on to the instrument, not the instrument cluster, the infotainment system, I feel like it's kind of improved from the last time I sat in a Cupra. Cupra, when you look at this, this system, usually they're not responsive, it's laggy, but now I feel like it's very responsive. It's really nice. The mapping system is still it looks a bit dated in terms of graphics. I'd rather use my CarPlay system. I'm still using that. So this has got wireless Apple CarPlay. I'm not sure if it's got Android Auto. It wasn't on the spec sheet that I got, but it'd be interesting to see that. I don't have an Android phone with me to test that out, but it's there. So to operate this is very simple as well. You got this, quick option at the bottom there. The writing to tell you what it is disappears when you're not there. So it's got like some sort of proximity sensor. So when you get closer to it, it kind of activates itself. So you can see the wording. So like settings here, we'll say settings underneath it, for example. And this is 12 inches as well, so it's a large display. It's very prominent in the center of the console here, of the dash, and it's slightly driver focused as well, so it's tilted a little bit towards the driver. And you've got this menu button that's always there, so when you press that, it takes you to the main menu where you can see your driver profile, iClimate, which is pretty cool, which gives you like a quick way of just selecting what you want to do. Like, I want to warm my hands up, my feet are cold, you can warm up your feet rather than going through that, pressing the fan and all that stuff and temperature. You just activate that intelligently to let you know, but you can still do it manually as well. So up top, there's always that climate control there. So you got heated seat button to the left, you got auto, and then you got the fan control, which when you press it, takes you into like air conditioning, which you can switch it on and off. You can press where you want it to go when, control the whole climate inside of the car. You got air care climate as well, which is, helps clean the car, filter the air in the car. So if you're someone like me who suffers from hay fever, that's something that's very useful, because it filters out pollens and all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate when car manufacturer put that in their cars. In terms of safety options on here, you do have side assist. So you got exit warning as well. You got front collision warning and assist as well with automatic braking. You got rear assist as well. So again, it just gives you that sense of safety. So everywhere around the car, it's got some sort of assist function to make sure that you don't hit someone or someone else or other cars, other road users when you're driving, which I pretty much like. You got adaptive cruise control. So there's a button on the steering which you press it, you can set it, and it adjusts to what's in front of you. If there's a car in front of you, it adjusts accordingly as well. So you got all the basics and not so basics as well. So there's a lot of extras that you can get with, depending on which version you get. I've actually got a spec sheet here which tells me what you get, but it doesn't really differ from when you go for the standard equipment on the View one. There's a lot of standard equipment here that comes with the car, which I pretty much like, because if you're paying for this, you don't have to go all the way to the VZ3 if you just want the standard equipment, because they're more than enough. Because when you go into this one, all you're getting is a bigger alloys, and you get that sports copper detailing on there and the panoramic roof. To be fair though, if you do get the VZ2, you do get some more in terms of safety pack. So you get safety and driving pack, which comprises of that dynamic road sign display, high beam assist, side assist, exit assist, lane change assist, and emergency assist as well. You've also got Cupra Connect, which basically puts your car online. So things like finding parking spaces, finding the nearest petrol station, you'll be able to get that with this, which it's very handy. It's very handy. So, you know, when you're trying to find parking spaces, sometimes it's very difficult. You don't know. So the car will let you know in advance if there's parking spaces around where your destination is, which I really like. But other than that, there's not much going on here. You can adjust, you know, the interior lighting. You got that Cupra lighting that comes on when you open the door. We can't see that because it's nice and bright day today. But actually, yeah, you can barely see it because it's too bright. But other than that, it gives you that there. And yeah, there's some sort of customization there that you can do to customize it a little bit to make it yours, you know, in terms of lighting, the mood lighting in the car. But besides that, it's a very nice car. I think for the price that this is stated for, so this one, the full package here with everything that's tested on road, is £44,955. And it has two options on there, which is a panoramic roof, which will cost you £1,165, and the metallic paint, which will cost you £800. So yes, I think it's reasonably priced if you ask me, and it's a sexy looking car. I think it's cool looking as well. But we'll take it on road now and talk about the driving as well to see what the driving experience is. But I think you got enough tech in the car to keep you going. And if that's going to be outdated very soon, I don't know, because I wish they would have just more entertainment in here as well. But it is what it is. I think it's still a pretty packed car full of different things in there as well. But yeah, shall we take it on the road? Let's do it. Let's take it on the road and see what it's all about. This sounds fantastic, by the way. It just purrs, and it just, when it's idle, when you start it up, and then when you drive in, it just pops as well, which is pretty cool. It can almost make you feel like a hooligan, antisocial behavior when you're driving it through these quiet villages around this area. I think we're just somewhere near Banbury. So there's a lot of quiet roads and loads of countryside roads around here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's start the engine, and ooh, that sounds good. Let's take this on the road. Seatbelt on for safety first, and I'll talk you through the engine and what Cupra has included with this one. So like I was saying, you do get lane keep assist. So if you deviate from your lane, it automatically tries to push you back. It puts you back on track, which is pretty cool, and it's easy to activate as well. And I must say though that the touchscreen is very responsive. So when you drive in, you don't end up trying to tap things and they're not responding to what you're doing. So it works just the way it's intended to. So this is a 2-litre TSI engine, and it's a 4-wheel drive as well. And what you've got is 0 to 62 in 4.9 seconds, which is pretty decent if you ask me. And then when you put your foot down, woo, slow to react a little bit, but it sounds fantastic as something to make you happy when you put your foot down. And this is 310 PS, so this has got 400 Newton meters of torque as well, and it would do 155 miles per hour top speed. But what's most important about this car, it's very comfortable when you need it to be. So when you're driving around town like this, excuse the sat nav talking in the background, you know, when you're driving around villages like this, it's nice and comfortable. The suspensions aren't too stiff that it makes you feel uncomfortable driving for a long period of time. But stick it on the motorway or the country roads, and you can put your foot down and you feel the speed, you feel it come alive, especially when you put it into Cupra mode and then you hear the engine sound. It sounds fantastic. It's one of my favorite things about this car. It's the sound of the engine. It just sounds really good. Woo, listen to that. But in driver profile though, you can tweak these things. So you can turn off that engine noise if it's something that you don't want. So if you drive in, if you live somewhere where you need to have a quiet, you know, your neighbors might moan at you, then you'd want to turn that off, for example. But who cares, man? Just turn it on. You've paid £49,000 plus for the car. Turn it on, be antisocial, do what you want to do. It's amazing. How does it drive? It just grips the corners. It fills you with confidence as well. A lot of confidence. If you're not someone who sort of drive, you know, fast and try and take corners quickly and all that kind of stuff, it still fills you with confidence because you can just do it. You can do it too in the Cupra, in the Formentor, and it sounds amazing whilst doing it. Those engine notes just sounds perfect. I absolutely love it. And you know, the steering wheel is precise as well. You know, as you'll turn in, you're feeling it doing exactly where you point the car, and that's what you want, because I've driven cars where you turn and then you turn, and then it does it. It's not that precise. This is on point, and that's how you want it to be. And yeah, I just love putting my foot down. This is the sort of car that might get you in trouble. You might not get over the speed limit and get caught by a speed camera, but the brakes are also pretty sharp. So, you know, those Brembo brakes, you just put your foot down and it just stops. And, you know, again, confidence, safety, all in one. You know, it gives you a good package in the sense of the driver style, the design, even, you know, look at the diffuser on the back with the twin exhaust on either sides. Looks like it's going to be a fast car if you see one of these on the road. And it's been turning heads even through these villages where people usually drive, you know, Range Rovers and bigger cars and stuff, and your Audis and stuff. But they've been looking at this car thinking, what is that? And that's what you want when you've paid £49,000 for a car like this. You know, that sort of money that you've paid for a car like this, you want it to be turning heads. You want it to be functional in terms of space inside the car. You want the car to have a lot of tech in it that makes you feel good when people come inside of the car. You know, fancy things that you can do in here, all the connectivity options, even the Cupra Connect option as well. Looks, you know, that's what you want your car to be. And I think this is a fantastic package all in all. Over to you guys though. As I'm driving, I'm taking this back right now, so it's just a day's experience with the car. So I couldn't tell you much about living with the car in terms of mileage and miles per gallon, all that kind of stuff, what that would be day to day when you're driving this. I couldn't give you that information, but hopefully if we do get it for a longer term, I'll be able to give you that information. But over to you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you buy one of these? Let me know what you think of the design. What do you think of the Cupra brand? Let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe. Smash the like button as well. And yes, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so if you like videos like this, you get notified every time I upload them. And yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.